Sarah's hands trembled as she slipped the engagement ring into her apron pocket, tears threatening to spill onto the orders she was balancing. She'd spent 2 years waiting for a proposal that turned out to be nothing but empty words. Now, on Valentine's Day of all days, she was serving happy couples while her own heart lay shattered. But sometimes, fate has a way of stepping in when you least expect it, especially when a kind-eyed single father sits down at table 7. If you've ever felt like love wasn't meant for you, this story might just change your mind. Hit that like button and subscribe to see more real-life stories that remind us second chances are always possible, even when we've given up hope. The dinner rush at Rosetta's diner was in full swing, the restaurant awash in pink and red decorations that only amplified Sarah's misery. 28 years old with nothing to show for it but a stack of unpaid medical bills and a freshly broken heart. Just 12 hours earlier, she'd discovered her boyfriend Chad in their apartment with another woman, the same night he'd promised to finally propose after making her wait for years. "Order up for table 9, called Marco from the kitchen, snapping Sarah back to reality. She plastered on her customer service smile, the one that never quite reached her eyes, and delivered plates of heart-shaped ravioli to yet another beaming couple. "Sarah, you've got a new table," her manager Denise said, nodding toward the corner booth. "Single dad with his daughter. They're regulars at lunch, but I've never seen them here for dinner before." Sarah glanced over to see a man in his mid-30s helping a little girl with pigtails into her seat. No Valentine's date for him either, apparently. Something about that made her shoulders relax slightly as she approached their table. "Welcome to Rosetta's," she said, pulling out her notepad. "I'm Sarah, and I'll be taking care of you tonight." The man looked up, and Sarah was struck by the warmth in his hazel eyes. "I'm Jack," he said, "and this is my daughter, Emma. Say hi, Em." The little girl, no more than 6 years old, gave a shy wave. "We don't usually come for dinner," she explained seriously, "but Daddy said Valentine's Day is for celebrating all kinds of love, not just the kissing kind." Despite herself, Sarah felt the first genuine smile of the day tug at her lips. "That's very true." As she took their order, Sarah couldn't help noticing the worn wedding band Jack still wore, or the gentle patience he showed his daughter. When Emma accidentally knocked over her water glass, Sarah rushed to clean it up, her engagement ring slipping from her apron pocket and rolling across the floor. Jack retrieved it before she could, holding the modest diamond up to the light. "Looks like you dropped something important," he said, his expression curious but not prying. "It's not," Sarah began, then stopped herself. "Thank you," she said instead, quickly pocketing the ring again. Throughout their meal, Sarah found herself lingering at their table longer than necessary. Emma chattered about her Valentine's Day party at school, while Jack asked Sarah thoughtful questions about herself, not flirtatious, just genuinely interested in a way that made her feel seen for the first time in months. When they finished their meal, Emma presented Sarah with a handmade Valentine's card she'd been working on throughout dinner. "It's for you," she said proudly. "Because Daddy says everyone deserves a Valentine." Sarah's eyes welled up as she accepted the crayon-drawn heart. "This is the nicest thing that's happened to me all day," she admitted. Jack studied her face. "Rough Valentine's Day?" Before she could stop herself, Sarah found herself confiding in this stranger about Chad's betrayal, the cancelled proposal, and how she was working a double shift to avoid going back to the apartment they'd shared. "I don't even have anywhere to go tonight," she finished, embarrassed by her outburst. Jack was quiet for a moment. "My sister runs a small bed and breakfast about 10 minutes from here," he finally said. "She always keeps a room ready for emergencies. I could call her, if you'd like." Sarah hesitated, years of self-reliance making her reluctant to accept help. "Please," Emma added. "My Aunt Kelly makes the best pancakes ever." That night, Sarah slept in clean sheets in a cozy room above a charming B&B, the first step in rebuilding her life. She'd expected to spend Valentine's Day mourning a relationship, not ending one and finding unexpected kindness from strangers. Over the following weeks, Jack and Emma became regular dinner guests at Rosetta's, always requesting Sarah's section. She learned that Jack had been widowed 3 years earlier when Emma was just a toddler. His wife had died from the same rare heart condition that had put Sarah in medical debt after her own diagnosis and treatment 2 years ago. "But you're okay now?" Jack asked one evening after closing, concern etching his features. "In remission," Sarah confirmed. "The doctors are optimistic." Their friendship blossomed slowly, cautiously. Jack helped Sarah find a new apartment and move her things while Chad was at work. Sarah started babysitting Emma on her days off, discovering a natural ease with the little girl who'd first offered her kindness when she needed it most. By summer, their friendship had deepened into something more, though neither rushed to define it. On a warm July evening, as they watched Emma chase fireflies in Jack's backyard, Sarah finally took the old engagement ring from her wallet where she'd kept it as a reminder. "I think I'm ready to let this go," she said, showing him the ring that once represented all her hopes. Jack took her hand. "Sometimes we have to let go of the future we imagined to make room for the one we never saw coming." The following Valentine's Day found Sarah back at Rosetta's, not as a waitress, but as a guest, sitting across from Jack while Emma colored contentedly beside them. Sarah had used her medical billing experience to secure an office position at the hospital, slowly chipping away at her debt while taking night classes in healthcare administration. "Remember when we met right here, exactly 1 year ago?" Jack asked, reaching across the table for her hand. Sarah nodded, thinking of how much had changed. "Best Valentine's Day disaster ever." "About that," Jack said, suddenly looking nervous. He glanced at Emma, who giggled and pulled a small box from her backpack, sliding it across the table to Sarah. Inside wasn't a ring, not yet, they'd agreed to take things slowly, but a key, attached to a heart-shaped keychain with a tiny photo of the three of them. "We were hoping you might want to make our house your home," Jack said softly. "Emma and I both agree our family feels incomplete without you." Sarah looked from Jack to Emma, remembering the broken woman who had served them dinner a year ago, convinced her heart would never heal. Now she understood that sometimes love arrives not in grand gestures or perfect timing, but in small kindnesses when we're at our lowest. "Yes," she whispered, tears of joy replacing the ones of sorrow she'd shed in this very restaurant a year before. "Yes to everything." As Jack leaned across the table to kiss her, Sarah caught sight of their waitress, a new girl, looking tired and a bit sad on the busiest night of the year. She made a mental note to leave her an extra-large tip and perhaps a word of encouragement. After all, you never knew when a simple act of kindness might change someone's entire life. Sometimes the love stories worth telling aren't about perfect people finding each other, but broken people healing together. Sarah had learned that the hardest way possible, but now, surrounded by the family she never expected to find, she wouldn't change a single step of her journey. If you found yourself moved by Sarah and Jack's story, remember that second chances often come disguised as ordinary moments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that remind us all that even our darkest days can lead to unexpected light.